good afternoon, and welcome to Galactic Soul Healing. Today is the 9th of December, 2022, and we have been sort of experiencing an alignment, galactically speaking, with the Orion system, made up of various planets. I've been getting downloads from the Orion Collective, and so they have gone through an ascension process themselves, and they are currently vibrating at 5th, 6th dimension and above. So they are now in what they're experiencing as their Orion light phase of evolution. And actually, the last week or so, even, I've been getting downloads, and there's actually a lot of stuff. I have got some things to read through at the end of this reading, and many of you probably have noticed shifts within yourselves happening. We're going to do a couple of cards from each of these 4 decks today. So I have, this is the Mists of Avalon deck by Rose and Sarah here. This one is the Seasons of the Witch Oracle, the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle, okay, by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz. This one here is the Gateway of Light Activation, Gateway Light by Kyle Gray. Okay, the pictures on the fronts of those guidebooks are the same as the packaging. So, and the last deck here, we're going to be drawing a couple of cards from the Green Witch Oracle by Sherilyn Darcy. Okay, so let's get to shuffling, and I'll just have a quick chat while we do so. I have pre-shuffled these, so I'm not going to shuffle them for eons. So just calling on, first of all, Ascended Masters and Light Beings, and even any archangels that would like to be present to assist us with this reading. I'm hoping that some of the cards here are going to be echoing what was downloaded to me. We will see what happens. I'll just cut the decks first. Actually, let's do them one by one. So we'll just draw a couple of cards from the Mists of Avalon first of all. And once again, if something I say does not resonate, please don't take it on. If it does resonate, all well and good. You might like to look into it further. And the images may spark additional meanings for you, as well as the ones that I'm going to mention. So here we have Guinevere. Excuse me. And the words around the outside are beauty, feminine power, love, and sexuality. So this is speaking of the feminine. And I really love the artwork on these cards. Hope you can see that. That's probably better. And let's pull another one here. And isn't this synchronous? Okay, King Arthur. Straight away, there is some synchronicity here because the words around the outside, of course, we'll go through that first. Authority, leadership, justice, and power. So we have feminine power here, and we have masculine power. So the reason I was guided to choose this deck was that the Orion Collective, as you know, went through many, thousands of years of war. They were steeped in very polarized societies, lots of oppression, control, manipulation, very extremely intense, more intense than what we've experienced on Earth. And some of those beings there who were spiritually evolved were able to escape the control mechanism that was in place, the control technologies that were being used by the Orion Empire. They were able to escape it, and many of them did sort of come to Earth, and they were also followed by some of the people from the Orion Empire, the ruling class, which were the oppressors. And so a lot of the things that went on in medieval times and in Celtic cultures and a lot of warring cultures was a kind of a repeat pattern of the things that went on Orion. And it's interesting that in this period anyway, where we had witches and wizards and that spirituality, there was sorcery, witchcraft, but also some shamanic things going on, which are essentially, some of it was a bit more overt, but some of it was very sort of discreet and subconscious. More hidden or secret. Whereas then we had the sort of the outward, the power, the authority, and that kind of thing happening as well with the ruling class. But the interesting thing here is that something that came up. So that is a repeat pattern from the Orion Collective that's been playing out here on Earth. But the other thing that did come out from one of my downloads was that we are being asked to balance our masculine and feminine aspects within ourselves, which is really interesting. That these two have come out like they're definitely feminine and masculine. So that's going to be coming out in the meditation. I'm just deciding which ones to draw next. Let's go with Seasons of the Witch. So as you know, witchcraft was, it was almost a shamanic practice. Many people were persecuted for it, killed, burned at the stake alive. A lot of horrendous things went on. And a lot of the high percentage of those people were women. Okay. So it was essentially and a lot of it was about, a lot of witchcraft was based on earth connection, watching the moon phases, the stars, planets, but also being really close to nature. A very feminine kind of, actually a divine feminine practice when it was used for, obviously, powers of good. So this is interesting that this is coming out as well. But the reason I've kind of gone for this also is that on Orion there was a lot of the ruling empire. There was a lot of dark sorcery going on. So they used a lot of, esoteric, metaphysical sort of technologies to control people, even spiritually and astrally. They weren't even allowed to, or they couldn't, unless they were highly skilled and were able to find gaps in this, it was called the Orion net. So they actually controlled people and prevented them from incarnating elsewhere. They had to keep incarnating back on Orion, hence the pattern kept repeating itself of warring and attempting to dominate over. And there was also a hidden, a black league, so a secret society of rebels, so to speak, that were working really hard to overcome that controlling empire, which was very insidious and really quite horrific. So obviously there's positive and negatives for witchcraft and sorcery and metaphysical things as well, and also mind powers and things like that. Now, let's see what this says. I'll cast the shadows. Okay. Cast the shadows, scream silence at them. Dear witch, what lurks inside transforms into the most beautiful of beauty. So this is like a poem, obviously. So this is interesting because it's talking about shadow, and the shadows can be, our inner our inner aspects of ego that are dysfunctional. Obviously, we have some functional aspects of our ego, but there are some dysfunctional aspects of ego. Okay, we also have fears, but that's actually ego. Like if we're in fear or insecurity or even, delusion and that kind of thing, that can be ego, the dysfunctional aspect of ego, and that was also come up in my meditation in the downloads, and we'll go into that a little bit further at the end. But there is power, a potential for transformation here, which is also what the Orion Collective are going to be encouraging us to aim towards. And it's going to be really positive what comes out. Offerings. I give to you my heart's intent, wrapped in gratitude and thankfulness, devotion in exchange for your presence. Here I am gifting my essence. So this is almost the like the voice of the higher self. Because it's like just, if you can imagine that your higher self is saying to your ego, okay, I give to you my heart's intent, wrapped in gratitude and thankfulness, devotion in exchange for your presence. Here I am gifting my essence. So it's like the higher self now in all of us is coming forward to speak to the ego, which is actually more represented in this card here in terms of the shadows that are becoming evident, or our dysfunctional aspects that are in some ways blocking our ability to acknowledge our higher self, okay? And the interesting thing is this is something else that the Orion Collective speaks about in my download, so I really can't believe the synchronicity, and I'm going to be reading that out at the end, so you will see when we get to that. Right, so next we're going to go with the Green Witch Oracle. And I chose these, actually I was guided to choose these because they are natural images, beautiful, gentle, uplifting images, probably also, more on the feminine side of things, but we are having to access our feminine aspects a little more, as well as our divine aspect, of course. Actually, I'm just going to chop that one more time. Right. Okay, like I say, if something I say doesn't resonate, don't take it on. If it does, all well and good. Okay. Now we have. Okay, I really love the images on these cards. They're just really cheerful. Often has planet signs. Here we have an element sign, which is water. Continuance. This is apple. So this is really, it's also a message. It's a message for us to eat more fruit, which is just really bang on for Ascension. Raw food really helps our body, especially water. It's really helping our whole systems at the moment. Continuance is about that quality of perseverance and endurance and keeping on going, okay? The interesting thing is that if we can start eating more raw foods, that will assist that process, okay? Because if you can't eat any raw foods with high life value or high chi, as they say, then you're going to just slowly feel like you're getting like less and less energy, more lethargy, more fatigue, and you're not going to feel like you're going to be able to cope as well as if you start having raw foods. And I've just done this myself, like just lunch religiously. I've been having some raw veggies with other things or whatever. It's almost like you don't even, well, it's not like it doesn't matter what you have with it, but if whatever you have for your lunch, if you can have something raw, or your evening meal have some raw veggies, is great. And raw fruit, of course. And we have another fruit. Actually, I wanted to talk briefly about this little, so this is the Capricorn sign here, which is cardinal earth sign of the zodiac. So once again, it's that earth connection, cardinal. It's about you initiating and making a commitment to your health. Okay, but it's also generally about continuing on with your processes, whatever it is that you're doing. It might be your higher self ego integration, or it might be more on a physical level, or it could be both. Wholeness. Okay, this is another water. And you know what? This is just really glaring me in the face. Is this? We have 2 water element cards here. It's saying hydrate. Okay, health is going to be really important. And yeah, water is important. And here we have Aquarius, which is awesome because we are entering the age of Aquarius, which is bang on. And wholeness. And this is so on point. I can't believe it. You wouldn't think that a card with black mulberries on it would be on point, but it is, because wholeness, we are speaking about this ego, higher self integration to come into a real vibration of wholeness, of really self-care for oneself, for your own highest good, and also caring for others as well, getting a really good balance. And this is something that the Orion Collective also talks about in my downloads. I really can't believe this. It's so awesome. I nearly didn't do this reading today because I was so tired. But anyway, I'm so glad I did. I'm even getting energy from doing this. So thank you, spirits, for helping us with this. This is the Gateway of Light activation by Kyle Gray. This is the last deck. So we'll just do a quick shuffle on this one. So these images are really inspiring, kind of uplifting, and also really speak to the higher self. Okay, so... But like I said, any of these images that we pulled out may have other meanings for you, and, jot them down. If you need to at any times take screenshots or freeze, stop the video, do some journaling, that's probably an awesome thing to do. And anyway, okay, I'm going to cut it now. Sometimes I just get thingy to just, do another shuffle. Okay, so we have... Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, this is really gorgeous. Okay, we have angelic frequency. Angels are here. You are safe. Potent connection. Okay. Something else the Orion Collective mentioned in the download was that if we take time out and slow down, start getting in touch with our higher self, start appreciating all aspects of ourselves, and also appreciating that aspect of our being that has the ability to connect with spirit, connect with angelic frequency. And this is about having faith and belief that we do have high frequency assistance. I don't know about any of you guys, but I've definitely been feeling that is, the last year or two, there's definitely been a slow, gradual increase of a sense and feeling of presence, and being able to step into different vibrations, and you might have had similar experiences where you can kind of sense. Sometimes it feels like, like aspects of your higher self are actually just tuning into perhaps even past life experiences where you've had mastery previously. So anyway, so this is Merkaba activation, and it is transcendence, ascension, you are rising up. Okay, I really love that. Doesn't that look fantastic? So Merkaba is that light, is your light body. So that is the sacred geometry formation of the light around your physical form. So it permeates through your aura, and it interconnects with your energy body. So the chakra systems, and there are chakras, just outside of your body as well. You have your soul star chakra and others. You also have an earth star chakra, which is just below your feet. And, as in ascension, many of us are starting to activate this now. I have been doing many more white light meditations, violet light meditations outside, just really connecting with the earth. And yeah, so this is this is just the, the Orion Collective just sort of really enforcing that, yes, we are ascending. And there's also a little bit in there in my download about really just being a little bit more relaxed and not going into panic and thinking that you're going to miss out on ascension if you don't do A, B, and C, because if we think that we are running out of time, or we go into that mentality, it's really just a third dimensional low frequency vibration. Okay, it's an egoic vibration to think that you're running out of time. So it's really about slowing down and, because time is actually not linear. So it's about just stopping, slowing, breathing, and just going, yes, I am ascending, and just making, gradual, consistent efforts and just doing the best that you can. So let's get to the download. So this is awesome, and I'm just going to read out. Right, let's get started. Now, I'll just warn you, I have 2 or 3 pages here. Hopefully we're going to get through this. Okay, so this was a download that I got on the 29th of November. So it's going to be repeating a lot of the things that we've just said, okay? But let me just okay, I might just change the cards as we go through. Okay, so inner contemplative receptive processes and expressive creative processes, which you can do with or without other people, are going to be needed now to develop balance between your own divine masculine aspect and your own divine feminine aspect. Okay, so your inner contemplative receptive processes are all those things you do for your divine feminine, and your expressive or creative processes that you may do on your own or with other people. Or you could do a little bit of both. One day you might do something on your own, another day you might do something with other people, is to help you with your divine masculine aspect, okay? The Orion's also saying allow for recovery time or a recovery day, and then a preparation day or preparation time, and then a doing time. So they've divided it into, if you're active or you're doing things or you're at work or whatever, allow time for recovery. Then you have preparation, and then the doing. So there's going to be these 3 phases: recovery, preparation, and doing. So we're really going to have to, to slow things down, so your mind and body can rest more and have time to process all the sense impressions and vibrations, and do whatever energetic practices are needed to cleanse and re-energize yourselves emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So because we are going through these higher frequencies now, and we are going through ascension, we really need to take time to be more conscious about our nutrition. Okay, and it's not just that, it's also about our egos and our higher self integration. Okay, physically, emotionally, and this is the divine feminine here and divine masculine. Okay, so it's saying, instead of going flat strap for 5, 6, or 7 days a week, endeavour to create spaces in between and or slow things down in general, less going through the motions and more pausing to feel and sense your inner well-being and your own soul self. Okay. So this little card here really speaks about that soul self. Okay, like the heart, your inner heart, and just really sensing that presence, and being devoted to your higher self in some ways, because what the higher self brings you is a gift, and and its essence is a gift. Okay. Now another download that I had on the next following day was it's about embracing one's darkness. So we're here on the ego. Now this is going to get there may be little bits repeated, but apologise in advance. Okay, so embracing one's darkness and transmuting it into light means identifying one's dysfunctional patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving, and relating. It also means being able to critique oneself with love and compassion, and to be grateful for an opportunity to accept and understand the deeper causes of the programs and tendencies within oneself, and to then be able to move through them into something new, to transform, to evolve as a higher consciousness being into greater balance, harmony, peace, and unconditional love for oneself and others. This is the transformation that this card is speaking about here. There are steps and stages to this process, but it is different for everyone, yet similar in that many are and will be going through these processes. Okay, so we are all going through this. It is not just a few of us, okay? It is everyone. But some of us are more consciously aware of it than others, and obviously the people that it's very low on their agenda in terms of their awareness, they will just simply take longer. Okay. And that's not a bad thing. Everyone does things in their own time. So it is also so when there's talking about here about facing one's darkness. So this is if you feel like there's yucky stuff coming up, okay? This is some of the suggestions about what's actually going on. Okay, it could also be that it's that you're identifying your conscious mind is beginning to identify your dysfunctional and functional ego aspects. So you're beginning to differentiate. Okay, plus also identifying when you are being in your soul self, i.e. when your thoughts, feelings, behaviours and styles of relating are and your experiences are being informed by the soul self, and when they are more informed by the dysfunctional egoic self. So it's about identifying when you're in one or the other, if you know what I'm saying. So you might start becoming more aware about when you're in a dysfunctional egoic state and when you're in a functional egoic state, and also when you're in a higher self state, or when you're being more aligned with your soul. Okay, so there's all these things that we're starting to trying to integrate and understand and process now. Okay, so the egoic self also goes through transformation from being in a predominantly dysfunctional state, which in brackets includes denying the existence of the soul self. Okay, so part of the dysfunctional ego is to turn a blind eye to the higher self, or to literally repress it. Okay. Which includes, so a predominantly dysfunctional egoic state into a more functional state where it speaks, behaves, thinks, feels, and relates more from a place of compassion and love rather than from a state of fear, or rather from a state of deep-seated fear, doubt, and or insecurity. So your ego is moving from dysfunctional into more functional, okay? It is the ego that must let go of the matrix, and it is the ego that puts up the biggest fight and the most resistance in this process of transformation that humanity is going through, okay? And it goes on, it says, we, the Orion Collective, have been there and done that, so to speak, and we want you to know that you can and you will come out the other side of this. And then you will wonder why you had been lost to yourselves for so long, okay? That is, you will wonder why you had listened so long to the voices of your dysfunctional ego aspect rather than opening up to the voice of your soul or higher self. So that's the same thing. Your soul and higher self are the same thing. If they're not technically the same, they have such a similar vibration that in essence that, we don't really need to distinguish the two. Do not berate yourselves over this. Okay, so they're talking about if you feel like you're upset with yourself because it's taken you so long, okay, they're saying don't berate yourselves over it, because this is how evolution works, okay, and it happens over a period of eons, okay. So they're saying there is, first of all, there is a separation, then there is deep polarity. This happens over many eons, okay, and then there is the aftermath of all of that, where the collective psyche is in a state, in a sense, traumatized from that experience, or it is in a traumatized state. Okay. Then that phase, the trauma phase, is followed by a healing phase, and that is where Earth humans are. What Earth humans are experiencing now. Okay. So this is these images here are the really healing. Okay, we have the healing. It's all healing, really. Okay, but we're essentially healing from our trauma. Now this will expand as we go along. Okay. So Earth humans are experiencing this now. So you are in the home stretch, they're saying, so to speak. The healing phase. Really, you have made it. You have arrived in your Earth. So please congratulate yourselves and each other. Continue to have love for yourselves and one another. We applaud you, and we know this process is not easy, but remember we are all divine creations and we are all interconnected. So it is little wonder that since we are all sovereign beings, that really we can accomplish anything that we focus our consciousness towards. Do not underestimate the power of your thoughts, feelings, and intentions. All of these things have vibrational frequency and are therefore valid in the big scheme of things. Remember that physicality is only one dimension of existence, one dimension of being, one dimension of possibility. There are many other dimensions of existence, being, and possibility, and you have access to all of these dimensions because you contain the portals to these dimensions within you. Study the energy systems of the human body. Energy medicine, subtle energy therapies. The future is energy. This is the technology that will propel Earth into the fifth dimensional frequency. Energies, vibrations, the psychic senses, these concepts and words and experiences will become more accepted and commonplace on your world. The so-called invisible worlds will open up to you and you will begin to sense, feel, perceive, and know them. They will no longer feel foreign or out of reach to you. Remember to give yourselves plenty of tender loving care. Do not spread yourselves too thin, so to speak, because you need tranquil alone time to just sit, rest, reflect, process, and wonder. Be in nature, journal, do some art, eat nutritious food, and direct loving thoughts towards yourselves as you go through the final phases of your ego higher self harmonization, which is literally what we're talking about here. Okay. These two aspects of you will come together as an integrated whole. Here we have wholeness, okay? There will also be a harmonization of balancing between your own divine feminine or yin aspect and your own divine masculine or yang aspect. So we are going through a lot of integration, internal psychic healing of our psyche, so to speak. Please allow yourself time to feel into these aspects of yourself and do some reflection on these as well. Also remember to relax. Okay, be yourselves, be creative, have some fun, and don't be afraid to branch out and try new things that you have wanted to try but felt blocked, restricted, or unable to do in the past. And obviously we're talking about things that are wholesome, that are in your best interest, that are for your highest good and for the highest good of others, okay? You may even like to create a new hobby or interest for yourself. Your world is a beautiful place, and really there is much peace and joy for you to be had in your future. Remember this: it is always darkest before the dawn, but the dawn will come as sure as day. Keep going, keep up the good vibrations. We're talking about continuance now. Okay. Keep up the good vibrations. We are always available to you should you wish to consult with us on any ascension matters or challenges. Okay. You are strong, you are powerful, perhaps more than you currently know. Until we meet again, much love, many blessings, and heartfelt congratulations, the Orion Collective. So I do have another page which I'm going to read because I feel that we need to cover it. Okay, so this was more recent. So we had the Orion alignment happening on the 7th of December. So this was literally the 8th of December, a day ago. Okay. So they're saying now it is time to start using your past life experiences as entry points into different aspects of your energy body's consciousness. These past life experiences can take you to times of mastery and of high-level skills that may be currently laying dormant within your conscious awareness. These experiences from the past can help you to access new ways of being and even new timelines in your current incarnation's experience. Do not underestimate the power of your mind to invoke anything you wish for your own highest good and for the highest good of all. It takes time to cultivate belief in one's past life intuitions of experience, but once you have belief in one or more of these aspects of yourself, you can become a powerful force for the light, and the darkness can no longer affect you, dear one. You can invoke clarity, authenticity, calm, energetic strength, energetic protection, higher self-guidance, unconditional love, support, positive relationships, good health, and abundance. We, the Orion Collective, wish to encourage you that you will get through this. You will all escape, or rather move through and transmute the 3D matrix. We succeeded in this endeavour on our world, and so will you. It is destiny that this will occur. Really, as you go about creating more balanced lifestyles for yourselves, it is natural that your consciousness and your thinking and feeling patterns will start to rebalance also. You do not have to rush this process or go into panic about it. Just make gradual and consistent efforts in this direction of balance, peace, and harmony, and all will be well. Intention on its own has energetic power and positive repercussions for the collective, even if the ideal overall outcome has not quite yet been achieved. If you pressure yourselves too much and go into panic thinking, if I don't push myself, I am not going to ascend and I will miss out, then right there you would have dropped the ball, so to speak, because what vibration is that? It is a vibration of fear, of lack, of panic. This is not the way. The way is patience, awareness, conscious decision-making, creating more balance in your lives, self-care, and cultivating gratitude, peaceful states, love, and spiritual connection between yourselves and also with the loving spirit and higher frequency guides who are assisting you at this time. Also become more familiar with those things that bring you peace, objectivity, relaxation, clarity, happiness, and upliftment. You may wish to do a variety of things to achieve these states. Adaptability, creativity, balance, and flow are also states and ways of being that are helpful to cultivate and explore during times of your ascension. You may also wish to practice meditation and mindfulness. These are certainly helpful activities as well. In addition to time outdoors in nature and being close to the earth, are exceptionally powerful modalities for healing of mind, body, and spirit. Do not forget also the power of colour, crystals, sound, and aroma as these modalities can greatly enhance the strength of your energy body and auric field via subtle energy healing vibrations. Thank you. Until next time, with much love, the Orions. The Orion Collective, sorry. So there we have it. That is the end. Apologise for the length of that. However, sometimes it's just good to read all of the words. So here once again we have the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine images here. And that's how I'm interpreting that based on the download that I received. This is the ego dealing with all that stuff that comes up for processing that needs to be transmuted. And this is the beautiful gift of the higher self. It literally, yeah, I really love that. It's gorgeous. And here we have beautiful, the reminder to hydrate here. Wholeness and continuing on, so that really beautiful integration of wholeness, health and earth connection as well. And here we have, last but not least, those beautiful high frequencies that are helping us and just reminding us that yes, we are ascending, okay, and these beautiful benevolent high frequency beings from other collectives, you know, they are with us and they are helping us as we continue on. So thank you very much for listening, and have a great day and a great week, and I will catch you soon. Bye for now.